So I'm just eating a salad with some carrot juice. I just, I'll be talking about You Are What Your Grandparents Ate, Carnival of Souls, and The Death and Return of Superman. And the book is worth reading. I can say that for it anyway. There we go. And all the salad is just a Caesar salad that was given to us, and I'm using the lemons, but I just put a balsamic vinaigrette on it rather than using the Caesar salad dressing, and I put some other things on here. Oh, there goes a lemon seed. I should have done it in my hand first. Anyway, I put some chives and long red pointed pepper and white kidney beans and what else? Oh, sunflower seeds. But anyway, the Death and Return of Superman was awful. The animation, it looks good on the cover, but it's not. The animation's so bad they may as well have filmed a puppet show. And like a bad puppet show, a kindergarten puppet show. And you can't tell from the box. It actually looks good on the box, but it's not. Now basically what happens in the story there is, well, the title pretty much says it all. But
Death and Resurrection, is that what it was?
so basically, Superman and Lex Luthor have a son in there, so that's kind of interesting. And Superman is resurrected, much like Jesus, from his tomb. And
Mary Magdalene there? Would that be Lois Lane?
sure. But anyway, so he comes back like with long Fabio hair, and he's been gone a while, right? So I guess his hair's grown, but somehow he just has like 5 o'clock shadow. So
no beard, eh?
no,
Not
but
quite Jesus.
great big long Fabio hair, and he's in all black. And I don't understand why all the superheroes have to turn into
It started with Spider-Man. I think that was in the 80s when it had the black costume.
But they're
And
all
also
turning into
Batman,
Grim Reaper.
the darker kind of costume, you know, like it's kind of like a teen figure. And Jesus, you know, kids like these bright colors. And
Batman's supposed to be dark. He's a bat.
but they darkened it up. It's stupid. The light colors are too cartoonish. They're too much like kids. You know?
I don't know.
I'm a teenager. I'm a grown up.
Well, I guess that's the thing, is children have grown into adult-sized children, and they want to believe that they're actually adults. So their superheroes have to wear black now instead of...
They're wearing black leotards, so they're
ridiculous. Anyway, Carnival of Souls, boy, that was from 1962. And I enjoyed watching it, I have to admit. I enjoy watching all sorts of
It was
stuff.
so campy.
I really like black and white horror or suspense. It makes sense. The shadows, the contrast between the light and the dark.
Yeah, I gotta say they were trying stuff in that one.
Yeah.
The acting was pretty
terrible.
wooden, but
Yeah.
like we were saying, it's hard to take acting seriously with that stuff. But they just weren't looking at real life.
So I saved the cheese from the salad for you. I'm going to make you a cauliflower crust pizza later for supper.
Wow.
If you want it.
Yeah. Cauliflower pizza. The best.
You drank down your juice pretty easily.
Not easily, but quickly. There's a difference.
I gave him kale.
Oh,
But
it
I
was
gave
kale.
him mostly carrot
Mhm.
with a little bit of kale. It just looked
It looked
like
very
a lot of
kale-ish.
kale. Yeah.
It tasted about 50-50. So
It's okay.
kale is powerful. So.
Anyway, the ending, that they really didn't plan this Carnival of Souls out very well, because they gave you an ending where you're not wondering or anything. And anyway, I'll just get on with.
I kind of like endings like that, but it's kind of traditional. With you're always worried that evil will win.
Oh, so that's why they did that. But honestly, I mean, evil kind of did win.
Well, there you go. I didn't see the ending of the movie. I fell asleep, but I was very tired.
For her.
Is that what happened? I didn't see the endings. Maybe we shouldn't be giving it away. I don't know. People.
Yeah, you might watch it if you like campy black and white old movies, whatever.
That's a pretty racy cover, isn't it? I think a lot racier than the movie was.
Well,
the
I mean,
movie
there was one
racy
scene
for
where
its
she
time.
was in the bathtub, and we were talking about how, like, I was making jokes through the movie, like, well, I hope she has some mace in her purse, because,
That's
like,
right.
she's living in this rooming house across from this guy who's, like, peeking in at her while she's getting changed, and then he's bringing her coffee in the morning, and
Oh, he's acting like Hugh Hefner, except he doesn't
such
have
a
the
stalker,
mansion, right? So,
he's doing creepy things, like he touched her cup, and I'm like, ah!
yeah.
And
Now, some people
like,
do these
where
things.
the rim is. And anyway, and he took her out to get her drunk after work. He picked her up from
He was really touchy-feely, so, yeah.
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 And but I mean, there's
He actually was a fairly good actor, I gotta say. A little over the top, but,
he creeped me out.
yeah, there you go,
And
Steve.
the priest, when he opens the door for her and helps her get out of the car and stuff, and we're talking about how times have changed since 1962 and how it
Priests
used to
don't
be,
do that anymore. No, guys don't.
no guys.
Right.
And I mean, this woman, she drives her car herself the rest of the time, but when she's with the priest, he drives and he helps her out
Her
of the
car.
Yeah, and
Oh, jeez.
yeah.
Oh,
Anyway.
times have changed. Things have. They haven't.
So
Yeah, okay.
anyway, and then what else? You were going to talk about something to do with that, about how it used to be that it was kind of a sign of superiority that
Oh,
men
yeah, it
would
was
take care of the women
noblesse
like that.
oblige when
Yeah.
it comes to gender. So
Mhm.
guys would do it, but it was a patronizing. I think that's a pretty good word to use. So like it's kind of paternal, sort of caring kind of thing, but it's also like showing off. I'm a big, stubby, powerful guy. I can open this door that you'd kind of get you'd tear a muscle, trying to
Well,
get up,
you were talking about how that idea came from aristocrats. And
Well, I think it's a similar to it. I wouldn't necessarily say it comes from it.
okay.
So the term is noblesse oblige. So it's something like nobility obliges you, or obligates you almost to kind of be kind to your lessers, because you're kind of like this. You're kind of like a Superman, Superman's supposed to be good to poor flunky mortals. And I wouldn't be one. I'm sure there'd be some feminists out there who'd say, "Oh, it's all the same thing," it's and this is how they end up getting. Capitalism is the start of all the crushing of everything. It's really the start of gender problems and all that sort of stuff. So that's revisionist. It's not even history. I don't know what you call it. It's fantasy, really. But the whole thing is to try and imagine. This is one of imaginings. Imagine. This is one of their favorite words. Imagine. The way things were, you know, and imagine the way things are. And
Well,
all
I remember how my older grandparents, my paternal grandparents, who were like my mother and father figure of the perfect relationship, how they were, and it was sweet, you know. They'd go dancing, and my grandpa really, really cared for my grandma. He really loved her. It was lovely. They were just from that time. Anyway, you are what your grandparents ate. Page 11. Dr. David Barker linked geography with heart disease. These geographic areas also had more infant mortality. He figured heart disease was the end result of a long process launched by poor nutrition in the womb. 14. Where you live partially determines the bacteria in your gut. 23. People whose mothers had been pregnant during the famine were 2 times as likely to have heart disease and more likely to be obese and to suffer from diabetes, high blood pressure, high cholesterol than those whose mothers had been pregnant in normal conditions. 33. Human has 26,000 genes and declining. I don't know what that means. A grain of rice has...
sound good.
No, it doesn't sound good. 46,000 genes. So apparently rice has more genes than us.
Some things have hardly any.
The bacteria in your gut have trillions more than that. Your genes are constantly engaging in dynamic interactions with their environment. Many factors influence gene expression, nutrition, stress. 34. Sperm and egg combine to make a cell zygote with 46 chromosomes, 23 from each parent. Those chromosomes contain your genes. Each of your genes contains 2 versions known as alleles, 1 from each parent. Cells multiply, differentiate, and specialize. 41. Twins aren't necessarily susceptible to same illnesses. Genes alter in response to different life experiences. DNA methylation, histone modification, and RNA signaling. These mechanisms are affected by diet, illness, medications, toxins, and stress. 42. DNA methylation, a methyl group carbon atom plus 3 hydrogen atoms attached to DNA enhance or decrease gene expression. Twins who become sedentary in their early 20s had less stamina, increased percentage of body fat, indications of insulin resistance. Their lack of activity affected how their brains develop. The brains of active twins function better, particularly in areas linked with motor skills and coordination. 43. Victorians liked keeping fancy guinea pigs and mice as pets. 44. Dr. Lucy Wills was a hematologist working in India, found that Marmite, yeast-based spread, treated B12 anemic pregnant women. When cells are rapidly dividing, they use folate at a rapid rate. If a pregnant woman lacks an adequate supply of this nutrient, pernicious anemia is likely to result. People with inadequate levels of B12 who take folic acid supplements will suffer from abnormally high levels of this amino acid, homocysteine, which increases the risk of stroke and heart disease. Folic acid supplements may make masked symptoms of B12 deficiency. 45. Some genes, such as agouti, need to be methylated to promote health. Others are inhibited when over-methylated. Methyl donors, including folate, are found in whole foods such as green vegetables, onions, garlic, beets, wheat, barley, rye. 48. Royal jelly is rich in medium-chain fatty acids. Royal jelly can reactivate genes associated with longevity. It may boost collagen production and lower DNA methylation and encourages the development of good gut bacteria. 50. 1 or more of the genes involved in metabolized coffee metabolizes many medications. Women whose genotype produce high activity in the angiotensin, I don't know what that is, converting enzyme ACE had a lower risk of breast cancer if they drank green tea regularly. But drinking green tea doesn't decrease breast cancer in women with low ACE activity. So I guess you have to have that gene or it's not going to help you. Variations in the ApoA2 gene influence whether you gain weight or experience an increase in your BMI after consuming saturated fats. I'm going to talk later because this is loud.